Hello students, in this video we see how we can use DataReader, which is used in connected architecture of ADO.NET in our web page. How to use a DataReader in our web page, we see here. For that I am creating one DataReader demo.aspx page. I am adding one page which is named as DataReader demo.aspx page. This is a blank page. Now we already created one database inside our project, and inside that database we already created one student table having ID, student name, course and city fields. I am showing the table data here. To show the records from table, we go towards the show table data. In this ID field is automatically generated, and student name, course and city, these are the sample 3 fields we are taking inside student table. Now in this video we see how we can retrieve data one by one, means one record at a time. We retrieve one record, first record, then second record, then third record. We retrieve by using DataReader. And here we are connected to the database all the time when we are retrieving. So we use here connected architecture, and inside connected architecture we use DataReader object. Now we see how we can use DataReader in our web page. For retrieving and after retrieval, we need to show that particular record onto the page. For showing purpose, I am taking one table. I am inserting one table here. 3 fields are there, so I am taking 3 rows for this table. Now I am adding 3 labels. You know why we are inserting table, because proper alignment. For proper alignment of our web form, we use generally table. Now after adding table, or before table, we are giving the name or title as student details. Inside H2 tag I am giving as student details. So this is our design. Now after table I am adding one button. Inside design we see the button. Now by using properties I am changing the button text as show next record. Initially we show the first record, then after click on this button we show the next record from the table. But before going towards the code, I am changing the label property as here student name. Then this field I am changing the property, text property as course, and after that I am changing the property of this label as city. ID is auto generated, so there is no need to take ID. Then I am going towards the code. So first we need to take the connection object. For this I am using libraries as data, then using system.data.sql client. Inside this class I am taking the object of SQL connection, cn is equal to new SQL connection. Inside this we need to give the connection string. As we know how we can give the connection string, or we take from the SQL Server database. Click on this database and click on the properties, then you get connection string here. Copy the value of connection string and then paste here. Only the change is instead of single slash you need to give double slash. Wherever there is single slash, give double slash. Then after creating this connection object, we need to write this show next record code. But before show next, we need to show first record on these text boxes. After page loading, we need to show the first record inside these text boxes. So I am taking the SQL command object cmd and firing the select star from student query. Then second argument is active connection object, which is cn here. Then data SQL data reader. We need data reader to read the record from the database directly. So here I am using cmd.executeReader command. So first record is fetch after, but if there is there any record, we check by using dr.has rows. Means if there is any row after selecting this from student, if there is any row, then only we fetch that particular row. So before fetching, we need to check is there any row or not. If sometimes if a table is empty, or the select query result will be 0 rows found, then there is no any row to fetch. So before fetching or before reading, we need to check is there any record. For that we are adding this if condition, and if there is any row, then we may read that particular row. For reading, we use read method. Then after reading, we display the field values. Field values as at 0th index there is ID, at 1 index there is student name, then at 2nd index there is course, and at 3rd index there is city. So one by one we are adding. At second text box, we need to display the 2nd index field, that is, this is 0th index, this is 1 index, this is 2, and this city comes at index 3. So I am changing the index. All the values are of string type, so I am not changing the get string method. I am only changing the text boxes. So here after executing this select query, first record we are reading, and after reading or after fetching that particular record, we are displaying it into respective text boxes. So I am saving all the code and running the application. We see this is the output. Execute reader requires an open and available connection. Hence it is proved that we need to open the connection forcefully and after processing close forcefully. So this error gives me that we need to open the connection. That's why it is called as connected architecture. Data reader comes under connected architecture. Before reading, we need to open the connection and then only we can read. So I'm stopping the debugging. Before reading, I'm opening the connection. To open the connection, active connection object, and for by using active connection object we can call the open method, so that that particular connection will be open, and then we execute the command, and then finally we are closing the connection. So forcefully we are opening the connection and closing the connection here. Now we check is there any connection and attempt to attach and auto name the database for. Changing the name of that CN object. Now if I run, here no need to change the CN1. Check the slashes are correct or not. Here I'm changing. Now if I run, then we get the output. Here we get the output. First record, Rashmi Deshpande, MCA Sangli. This is our first record, and we are fetching that particular first record and displaying inside these text boxes. Now if I click on this show next record button, next record we need to display here. So for that purpose we need to write code inside this show next record button. So I'm going towards the code window and double click on this button. So I'm taking the static integer count, which is equal to 0 here. Copying this code where id is greater than this count, this count variable. First time count's value is 0, then second time we are fetching the record which is where count is greater than id, and here I am storing the count value as dr.get int 32. id I am storing inside this count variable. Now this count I am using here. Next record we are adding